Well, good morning, fellow Burtonians, or anybody else who's interested in Burton-on-Trent. My name is Jan. Welcome to this episode of Burton Shorts, or simply BS. This week, or in this episode, I'm searching for my second childhood home. I'm walking along Henhurst Hill and I'm looking for number 176, which is one of these big houses on the left, quite a step up for my mum and dad from a little terraced, I think 2 up 2 down, little terraced house in Sydney Street down near Derby Turn in Burton. Oh, I think I've just passed it. I think I have. 180, where's 176? It's this one here. Very nice. I'm sure it didn't have that UPVC window, door rather, and UPVC windows. I think my mum's bedroom was the upstairs bow window. I'll give you some memories of it while I'm here. I can't really go snooping around because I don't know the people that live there now. So memories from inside. I remember falling down the stairs. Again, these may be false memories, they may be just what my mum and dad told me, but apparently I sort of ran towards the stairs and went flying all the way down the stairs. I shall pause every time a lorry goes by or something because it gets very noisy. I'll go down a quieter road in a minute. What else do I remember inside? I remember knocking a little horse off a windowsill in my mum's bedroom, and she was very, very upset about this little horse. It had made of porcelain, very spindly legs, easily broken. I think I moved the curtains and it knocked it off and I got into trouble for that. That's about all I remember from inside, nothing else at all really. The garden, I remember the garden overlooked fields, and I got this vague memory of, so this would be about, got to give you a time scale, haven't I? I think I moved there in about 1961. I was born in 59. I moved there about 1961. I was certainly there when I was 4 years old because I went to school 1963. So I was perhaps there till 64, but I remember looking out over the fields and there were people bundling up the straw from after they'd gathered up the wheat, something like that. But I remember it being very labour intensive, perhaps before they had machines to do that. Other things I remember is there was a police house somewhere on the right. I don't know what they mean by police house. Did it have a little office like a little police station, or did just the chief police officer live there? I don't know. I'll look out for something that says old police house. And also there used to be a post office on the left here. I have done a little recce walk on the way down and I couldn't see it, so I suspect it's now a private house. But when I was living in I've got to work this out, my fourth childhood home, when we moved into there, an option would have been, because my mum and dad were looking into buying this post office. I'm glad they didn't. They might have ended up in all this post office shenanigans that's been going on with the, is it Horizon software? Now that looks familiar. Was that I don't know where the police house was. Don't know where the post office was, somewhere along here. But another thing I want to talk to you about is I went to my first school from here. So I'm going to walk to my very first school. Well, I'm going to walk there, but what I used to do at the time was walk along here to catch a bus. I remember there's a single decker bus. Is that a bus stop up here? It could have been on any of these lampposts, the bus stop sign. And I used to catch the bus to Tatenhill School. So I'm going to walk to Tatenhill School now. And if there's anything interesting on the way, like an old police house, or I find the post office, I'll stop and film it. So yeah, I'll get a move on. See you in a bit. Coming up to the junction now with Poston Road on the left. This is Henhurst Hill still. Poston Road on the left, Hopley Road on the right, and there's the Acorn Inn where I used to go every Friday for a drink from work when I worked at Bovril Marmite. Go and look at that episode, that's a different episode. And my mum enrolled me with a Sunday school at a little Methodist chapel just down Hopley Road. So let's go and have a look at that first, shall we? It's probably about 300 or 400 yards down this road. So I'll see you there. So this is the unassuming little building where my mum used to bring me, sorry bird, to Sunday school. Let's have a look. It is tiny. I think I can just about see a sign still there. Little Methodist chapel. There we go. Whether they're still operate or not, I don't know, but they might do. I mean, it's tiny. Such a little building. All I really remember about it is I hated going. I didn't like Sunday school. I've never had a religious bone in my body, so I'd be brought along here to be sort of indoctrinated into Christianity, and didn't believe a word of it. It all seemed a complete waste of time to me, and I still pretty much feel the same, to be perfectly honest. And then afterwards I'd be walked back this way, back quarter mile, back home. So that's my first Sunday school experience. The only good thing that came out of it is I did get a copy of Squirrel Nutkin by Beatrix Potter, and that was one of my favourite books, and I had it for many, many years. Don't know where it is today, but I won't be surprised if it's tucked in a box somewhere. Might have to have a look for that. If I can find it, I'll show you a copy. If I can't find it, here is a picture of the cover. Okay, I've just come back down to Henhurst Hill Road, and I'm crossing at the Acorn Inn to go down Poston Road to the school. I just noticed this. I'm surprised that this is parish of Branston. I didn't realise Branston extended this far away from what I think of as Branston. So like I said before, this wasn't a walk to school, this was a little bus ride, and I absolutely hated school. And I believe that my mum and dad's decision to move on from Henhurst Hill to my third childhood home was mainly, or a strong influence was the fact I hated this school so much. So yeah, let's go and find this horrible school. I think on the way I passed a farm where I had a friend, a school friend. I guess he's still there. Farms tend to stay in the family, don't they? Can't remember his name, but I'll tell you a story when I get to the corner. I think it's called Poston Farm, but it's now a big adventure farm. Well, this is probably halfway to school, and this is Poston Farm, also known as the National Forest Adventure Farm. I was hoping it would say who owns it or who runs it. There's no name on it, but if anybody knows, is there somebody born about the same time as me, 1959? So about 66 years old, because I remember I did go to play on this farm before it was an adventure farm. So this would be about 1964, say, something like that. And I'd go and see my friend. I'd probably walk down that road. I can't remember if my mum brought me some memories of there. I remember watching the cows coming in from a field, and there were so many cows we had to jump behind a gate, and the gate sort of opened. Luckily it couldn't go flat against the wall behind us, so that's probably the farm itself, isn't it? So that's probably where I went to play. Yeah, and if it hadn't been for this gate we'd have been squished by the cows, but I guess my school friend, whose name I can't remember, probably knew exactly where to go. Other things I remember, going on the back of little trailers behind tractors and trundling around the fields. And that's about all I remember really, and I wish I could remember his name. Please comment if you know his name. I'd love to remember it. Right, on to school. This terrible, awful school. Just approaching Tatenhill, the sign on the other side of the road. And it's funny, when you walk around places you've not been to for a long, long time, other memories spring to the forefront. And I distinctly remember when I was probably 7, 8, 9, something like that, so between 66 and 68, coming down here somewhere, there's a stream, perhaps on the field over there, or to the left, or that field to the right, and we had a scout camp. So I was with Joseph Clark Scouts. Was it Joseph Clark Scouts? I think so. And we came and camped down here, perhaps just for one night, perhaps for 2 nights. I think there's a stream at the bottom. Yeah, it was definitely here. Strange, the memories that come back when you walk around. Anyway, let's get into Tatenhill because we're here to see a school. So we're approaching the entrance to the village itself just now. Isn't it a lovely name? Tatenhill. Very nice name. Well, here's that stream or brook just a little further down. So yeah, there's definitely a stream, so I'm pretty sure I got that location right in those fields. I can sense I'm getting close to the school. I can see a thatched cottage. So, right, I'll see you again at the school. Well, here's a very chocolate box cottage. Thatched, half tiled. That is so pretty, isn't it? I mean, it must have been there when I was going to school, but I never noticed it. I had too many tears in my eyes. But that is very, very pretty. Very pretty indeed. And I think I can see the school just round the corner, because I recognise that. Yeah, I think that's it. So that little tower, I think, was a bell tower. Let's go and see if that's it. This is indeed my old school, now a private house. It's still got a bell, but it's all glassed in. All I remember really is that there were 2 rooms. There was one large room, one small room. It's called the old schoolhouse. Of course it is. So this is where I used to come and have a miserable time. It's hard to believe you can have a miserable time here, really, isn't it? So pretty. Yeah, 2 rooms, one large, one small. We had a sort of assembly in the big room, and then some of us would go in the little room. So I was age about 4, quite young really to start school. And yeah, wow. So glad I came. I'd love to go and knock on the door, but I didn't. I think that was the main entrance. Well, there we go. So we'll leave it there. That's the end of this episode of Burton Shorts, or BS. if you enjoyed it, if you want to see my second school and third and fourth, keep watching, subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. I'm putting up lots of little videos of short walks around Burton, especially if there might be some reminiscences. So if you've got any comments, please put a comment. But I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.